This fire ritual, a ceremonial act more than 3,500 years old, is a here-and-now experience symbolizing wholeness. The ritual is designed to deliver you to a greater sense of awareness, concentration, and belonging through action, color, and sound. You begin to feel part of the ritual flow as you observe the fire tender or pujari creating a mandala through the careful placement of sticks, as well as sweeping, pouring water, and laying down flowers while chanting mantras with unbroken concentration. Upon repeating or hearing the words of the ritual in such simple verbal patterns, you notice a sense of the weight or magnetic pull of the energy that is subtly surrounding the fire. There is a shift of focus away from your individual identity. The notion of yourself as being separate is erased as you fall into the influence of the fire drenched in color, the beauty of the rhythm of the mantras, and the elegance of the mandala. As we are drawn into the fire's image, we develop a caring attitude for the mandala being created, and we acquire the ability to respect the fire and to notice its beauty and energy. This respect voices itself throughout our day, in that we begin to look at the world with grateful understanding of how everything is interconnected, from the sticks and flowers offered in the ritual to the sun which gives life, and including our own ability to focus attentively. To appreciate the fire ceremony, a basic understanding of yoga cosmology is helpful. This theory of the cause and nature of the universe explains how the external world of objects reflects the internal nature of our minds and bodies. Objects physically manifested with their form and use constitute the mundane world for our senses to experience. Underlying the physically perceptible aspect of all material objects are 5 basic energies or tanmatras, the subtle elements of earth, water, fire, air, and ether or space. The elemental energy of the tanmatras is so subtle that they are not manifest to our physical senses, but they provide the substratum for all our sensations. The tanmatras unite in a myriad of combinations to form the blueprint of our material world of objects. From the perspective of yoga cosmology, the elemental nature composing each and every object is self-illuminating and reflects itself just as it is, for no reason other than to exist as it is. This illumination is energy. It is an energy which is too subtle to make an appearance in the world as form. Therefore, we can say it is the cause of the world of form. The mind, reflecting on its own self-nature, illuminates itself, for our nature is self-illuminating, not needing body, form, and use for definition. Using its power to focus on itself, on objects held in the mind, or on objects known in the world, such as fire, the mind realizes that the nature of the fire reflects itself within the one focusing. There is an interdependence between the nature of the flame to present itself in all its glorious self-illumination and the mind's natural mirror-like ability to reflect that illumination within the body-mind space of the focuser. In our ritual at hand, the scene of the fire reflects the visible form of fire or light, enabling sight. Through this connection, ordinary sight at the end of the spectrum blossoms into self-insight or knowledge, enabling you to see and accept yourself for who you are. This light of awareness, which is omnipresent in the scheme of yoga cosmology, is often described as most evident in the heart space. It is referred to in the Vedic text, the Chandogya Upanishad, in the following quote: "Now the light which shines above this heaven, above all the worlds, above everything, in the highest worlds not excelled by any other worlds, that is the same light which is within man." The fire ritual is designed to incorporate and honor the 5 tanmatras or basic energies of yoga cosmology. The subtle energy of earth, for example, is represented in the ceremony by flowers, sticks, incense, and ash. Water is used to cleanse the officiator, the participants, and the ritual space itself. The fact that we fuel ourselves with air, as the fire does, is symbolized by 3 pranayams, or controlled breaths. Subtle space also plays a role in that the knowledge of the mantras has been stored for thousands of years in the mandalic space, and the vibrations of our current thoughts are stored there now as well. And of course fire, with its fury, unpredictability, and warmth, provides the central focus. These 5 tanmatras form the foundation of our subtle energy system of chakras, or energy centers. Fire is the element of the 3rd chakra and is experienced as sensations of vitality at the solar plexus. The fire element manifests within us physically as sight and digestion, and manifests mentally as concentration. Yoga cosmology has shaped yoga philosophy and science, as evidenced in the Hatha Yoga postures, in Ayurvedic medicine, and in Vedantic self-understanding. Whether one accepts the yoga cosmology or finds it unfamiliar, it is the foundation of Vedic literature's view of how universal order manifests in the material world. If you adopt this yogic perspective, when you look at fire, you will connect with its hidden potential. Energy which is trapped within the subtle sensation of fire, just as energy is embodied within the food we eat, transforms itself into various forms of power. Your power of focus, your power of will, and your power of intention. So any experience you have that holds your focus or that motivates you is dependent upon your body-mind's connecting to that subtle power, the subtle element of fire buried within it. In the fire ceremony here, as the fire is lit and the mantras begin, you will enter into the fire ritual's energy field. With intensified concentration, you recognize that the flame, like life, often flares suddenly into unforeseen events. In learning to accept the seasons of the fire as an expression of the fire itself, we experience a sense of surrender to the fire's bold courage. As you cultivate this accepting attitude toward the nature of fire and its requirements during the ritual, a certain amount of tolerance is adapted into your relationship with your own body, as well as with your external physical and social environments. The fire tender has to use a harmonious approach in order for the fire to burn freely. One learns to patiently and respectfully place the sticks in a particular sequence without burning one's fingers or suffocating the flames. This requires remaining calm enough to feed the fire and allow space between the sticks for air to flow freely. Developing such patience and calm also provides space for the breath and prana to circulate through your body as you chant here and now, and as you move through life at the conclusion of the ceremony. The practice quietens the mind and creates a steadiness. One can't be in a flurry and keep the fire steady. When you attend to keeping a steady, stable flame in the ritual, this skill is transferable to maintaining a stable, even-tempered mind in all one's actions, and it becomes clear as you cultivate this steadiness of mind that you are the Dharma, the way. A stable mind is the Dharma. It is not necessary that you officiate the fire ritual. You can actually learn the Dharma by witnessing the ceremony. Every time the fire is lit, we are tapping into the stored energy of the mantras or our own added thoughts. As participants feed the flames with the chanting, and the officiator extends her hand into the mandalic space being created by the placement of sticks, the fire cooks the healing combination of thoughts and sounds. You are learning to nurture life's flow, whether in the fire pot, or in your body, or in the external environment. Your attitude and behavior toward the fire are influencing how you tend to all of your relationships. In daily life, you begin to allow other people an opportunity to express themselves without rushing or interrupting them. Equestrians call this getting off the horse's mouth, or not constantly pulling on the horse's reins. The power of the fire transforms the impact of your words and deeds, so that at the moment you are tending the ritual fire, you are also serving humanity and the world. When you offer sticks and mantras or your attention to the fire, for example, the fire transports this as food in a sacrificial fashion to the environment. The energy encapsulated in the sound of the mantras is transported into the environment through the same space the fire uses to burn brightly and to carry the flames upward. There is power in the chanting because the vibratory patterns of the mantras are connecting with and blessing everything and everyone. Even if you don't understand the words, the age-old chants contain their own flow. If you don't know the words, you can choose to offer your own supportive thoughts during the ritual, and the power of focus will illumine those thoughts to bring to fulfillment their intent. When you hold the fire in your mind, it lights up every nook and cranny, clearing that inner space for you to purposefully implant either your own supportive thoughts of hope and well-being or the ritual's mantras. Throughout the ceremony, you have the choice of deciding which thought or sound pattern to follow. Due to the power of the fire's image to clear one's mental energy field, either holding in mind your chosen thoughts or merely listening to the mantras presented here will act as a personal alchemy of transformation, which Emerson, Yeats, Shelley, and Keats called transcendence. Now, you, the participants, please bring in your focus to know this fire. Fire's inner nature, burning with power, will then activate the same power within you spontaneously as you connect visually with your power of focus. Truly, the creative association between ritual and participant results in a transformation in our self-understanding of the rich connectedness that wells up from the image of the flame in our mind and the actual flame. As the pujari is preparing herself for the ceremony, please let your attention be drawn into her experience. Everyday worldly concerns are being replaced as we focus and allow our eyes to be drawn to the ceremony's design. We will prepare ourselves for the ritual by increasing our energy flow through a breathing technique. Deficient energy results in our feeling susceptible and vulnerable. Just as the fire needs to have air circulating to strengthen the flame's intent, so also one's individual drive can be strengthened by making one's energy more efficient. In a moment, the pujari will demonstrate how one energizes the solar plexus. As you watch her demonstration, please realize that circulating the air carried on our individual prana blazes the fuel at the solar plexus. This inner fire illuminates the emotion, the will to create, like an appetite to know the unknown. This appetite or inspiration visits you, making you hungry to create, to distinguish yourself with the pleasure of creating. The illuminating ability of the fire lights up our faculty of observation to see a deeper potential within the obvious, and begs the creative imagination to embellish what we see. Deficient energy makes us want to seek out easy, proven ways and repeat the past. The invisible fire, stoking our energy, drives us to explore new things and to express ourselves in a new way. From the pleasure of creating, a sense of freedom bursts into the body, helping us feel whole. We need the prana that carries the air with its oxygen, so let's now open up the body, using our breathing to fan the energy of the solar plexus. When you create space in the abdomen and circulate more prana and air, it benefits the heart and the whole system. Breathe all the way to the solar plexus as you move the arms, stoking the fire, your invisible energy there. We now meet the quiet, careful hands of the pujari, who attends to the creative moment with respect and knowledge as she begins to place the items she will use in the ceremony. The pujari, with her quiet appreciation and attention to the ritual site, is creating a space for you. We recognize her and her inspiration as a source of relaxation. From this focus springs forth a new beginning within ourselves. We recognize the pujari's motivation in this moment, in her readiness to build the physical space. And as she draws our attention into the physical space more and more, our awareness connects to the fullness of the moment. In this moment of quiet communion, there is a communication between us, the viewers, and the tenders of the flame. At this moment, please notice, at what level of awareness are you? As we gaze outward, externally focused, as now the mantra cadences begin and the mandalic fire blazes, please partake in experiencing your own connection, the interdependence between the ceremonial image and your own focus in the present as the external fire ceremony begins. Holding steady, holding still, feel your belonging to all those present at the ceremonial site. Hold your attention now on yourself as you view the ceremonial flames. Any thoughts that rise and fall are like flames ascending and descending. Let your focus create a union, a gradual merging of the ceremony with more and more acceptance of yourself and your own internal life.